Hello, welcome to CHI Borders YouTube channel. My name is Ko Fujimoto. Today, I'm going to talk about when is my exit date, official exit date for US tax purposes as a green card holder when you file I-407. So, finally, I want to really get a conclusion, clarity to this particular question that everybody is wondering when is my official exit date for the tax purposes. So let's get to it. Okay, so US green card holder who obviously is a US tax resident initiates the exit process by filing I-407 and the original copy of green card to USCIS. And majority of the cases, you would send documents using this service, the service that you can use, obviously from overseas to USCIS in the United States. As of September 27, 2025, I think the destination at the USCIS is Minneapolis office. Anyway, may change in future. And then you become a U.S. non-resident for the tax purposes because you completed the process of abandoning your green card. So the question really is, when is the last day of my U.S. tax resident? When is my last day as a U.S. tax resident? Is it mailing date? When I send the documents to USCIS, or when the USCIS receives such documentation, or when USCIS process the documentation and approve my intention to abandon the green card. That's been debates, small debates, I think, going on for a while. And I was also, by myself, I was not 100% sure. It could be mailing date or maybe a receipt date. Both can be okay. That was kind of my previous statement. But in this video, I want to kind of make it clear. So, uh, so I found in internal revenue regulations specific to abandoning green card, and that this is an excerpt. Alien individual shall be considered to have filed a letter if such letter is sent by certified mail, return receipt requested, or foreign country's equivalent thereof. So the regulation, the tax law, says when you filed your documentation with the USCIS, you abandon your green card. So, so the question is, okay, what do you mean by a file? F-I-L-E, file. And in the regulation, it uses the word sent. Sent by certified mail, return receipt requested. So I think it really clearly implies the sent date, but not just a regular mail service, but it has to have a tracking information attached to it, and the documentation must be, someday received, proof of receipt, but it's sent by certified mail. So, sent date, I think, is a right answer. However, overseas, at least in Japan, there is no U.S. post office branch. Therefore, this is out of the question. So you would end up using FedEx, UPS, or DHL. The reg said foreign countries equivalent thereof, equivalent to I think USPS. So Japan Postal Service or Germany's Postal Service and National Service I think may qualify. But when I look at the website of USCIS about I-407, it only listed FedEx, UPS, and DHL and the USPS. So it's probably safe to use one of these three, I think. Um, but anyway, the key point is transmission date is the first date for non-resident for tax purposes. So the sent date is your first date of being a U.S. non-tax resident. Sorry, first date would be the sent date, and that date is the first day of you being non-resident of the United States for the tax purposes. And so that really literally means the day before that day is the last day of your U.S. tax resident. So it's a little bit confusing, but I think you understand. So let's kind of organize the thought here. Immigration law, tax law, and immigration law, when the USCIS or US consulate receive your Form I-407, and mailing does not count until it is received by USCIS or the consulate. LPR status ends on the day USCIS consulate receives the form. The official change date may be delayed by several days or weeks as processing times may occur. So this is the immigration law. So naturally, the date that the immigration law will record will be different from your date for the tax purposes. The tax law is when the Form I-407 is filed with USCIS or prepared by a consular officer submitted is interpreted as a mailing date, and it has to have a proof that controls. So a certified mail or receipt or the approved proof of mailing is approved, and the tax residency ends the day before the filing date on Form 8854. So today I have a little bit of background music because my wife is playing music instrument and uh, sorry. So let's get to the uh, Treasury Regulation 301 7701B1B3, and this is the entire section of number 3, and I want you to focus on the yellow section of the regulation, and I think you would understand. I'm not going to read the entire paragraph here, but I think the key is here. Number one is filed with INS. Okay, and then shall be considered to have filed. Such letter is sent by certified mail return receipt requested or foreign countries equivalent thereof. And these are, I think, key points. So I hope you understood my point here in this video. And this is our regular disclaimer. And this is our online half an hour complimentary meeting link. Please take a full advantage of this meeting opportunity. You can ask questions to us, and for us, it's a great benefit because we get to know real world what's happening today on the client side. So it's very important for us to have lively conversation with people with cross-border tax questions. So finally, this is our address, and we are in Chicago, and phone number and email address are listed here. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.